and today being the 6th September, there have been so many occasions happening. And among these things that have happened is Donald Trump winning the US election in the United States of America, and sadly also the loss of the Chief of Army Staff in Nigeria in person of Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja. With me in today's live session of the Everyday Muslim Show is Engineer Jibril Ibrahim, a public affairs analyst and also a head of medias and communication in iMedia TV. Thank you very much, and it's nice to have you, Engineer Jibril. Welcome once again, sir.
Thank you for having me. It's always nice to
So,
be on the show with Allah to put his barakah.
I mean, so we jump straight to the first of it, which is Donald Trump winning the election in the United States of America. What are your take on it? You know, the world wants the world. A good number of people are happy. A good number of people seem to be happy about the win, even amongst the Muslim community. I've been wondering why, but yes, we have you as a public affairs analyst to tell us more why people seem to be happy. Over to you, sir.
Well, Alhamdulillah, it's a bitter sweet feeling for a lot of Muslims, if I'm to go specifically at Muslims, but generally even globally, it's a it's a mixed feelings for a lot of people, countries, even in their countries, it's been a tough fight. Though incidentally, this election was not as tight as one would have predicted. It's not as tight as it was when Donald Trump defeated Obama, when he defeated, uh, when Biden defeated him in 2020. It was not as tight, you know. This time it's not as tight as it was then. Sorry, let me retake that. The people were passing and all sort of things. So as it is, we hope that this administration, the current administration of Donald Trump, will be way more coordinated and people can enjoy it, benefit from it even more.
Yes, sir. Sorry for the break in transmission.
Sorry,
We
I
can
lost
hear you.
you.
Yeah, yeah. Please carry on. You are live. You can
So
carry on.
essentially, I was just to recap. I was just saying that the session.
Okay, so while we await Engineer Jibril Ibrahim to join us back in the studio, I am not a political analyst or a political person, but then the few things I know is Donald Trump was once upon a time the United States of America's president, after which he lost to Joe Biden. And sadly, people, when Donald was president, people kept complaining But it was funny, or it seems to be funny how when Joe Biden came in, there was still a lot of talk about Joe Biden, and people were even wishing for Trump to be back. Okay, so now he's back again, and I am already perceiving the joy within everybody. I pray the joy they have in their hearts will be something that would be one that they would not regret. Okay, so yeah, I think engineer is back with us. Let's be sure he's back. We're having a bit of technical issues, the internet service providers and XYZ. But then engineer is back, alhamdulillah. So engineer, I was trying to just keep the people busy and keep us going. And I was trying to update everyone that once upon a time, Donald Trump was the president of America, and then Joe Biden came, and then Trump is back again. So now the question goes back to you: why are people happy? Why is there so much joy around the air that Trump is back again? Over to you, sir.
Thank you. So I think there are multiple people that are happy that Donald Trump is back. And you see that, like I was trying to say, he won with a kind of ease. Usually, 3 days after the election, we are still waiting for results. They have a 277 electoral votes margin that anybody that crosses that is usually known to be the winner. And usually it's something that could be tight. They will be counting and recounting various state ballots and everything. But this time around, as at 12 o'clock Nigerian time this morning, we could already see that Donald Trump had won. It shows that he has been able to mobilize quite an amount of people and support. And a lot of people are voting Donald Trump this year to a large extent because uh, Biden has really failed so much, and Harris, the person that is like the vice president, Harris has been is like a stooge. He's like a continuation of the Biden. And Biden has a lot of failures both within the United States. But if I say those that are happy outside the United States, there are quite a number of people that are happy around the world about about the victory, because I think to a large extent Donald Trump won largely on protest votes from the kind of outcry that people had from the genocide that was being committed by Israel in the Middle East, especially on Gaza, and then the indiscriminate kind of bombing and activities in Lebanon against the Hezbollah network. It's just like so many violations of human rights, international laws, and everything that Biden had the influence on Israel, that that influence was not seen to have been exerted. So many Arabs, many Muslims in America see Biden as a person that is not in control, as a person that is so insensitive to what Israel was doing, to the extent that he kept supplying them bombs to continue the war and everything. So a lot of times, like in some of the comments of the Muslim communities in America, among the things and the justification they gave is that you can't just have somebody that will claim to have these concerns and say no, they want two-state solutions to bring Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, to any form of conclusive agreements. So it's really something that a lot of people were discontent about, and he could not deliver on that. So Donald Trump is seen as a negotiator, as a deal maker. So in as much as a lot of people fear him for one reason or the other, a lot of other people believe that at least he will be able to deliver some form of deal between um, the Israel and the Palestinians. So there is a lot of protest votes coming from that side. And then you have a lot of the Ukraine-Russia war also going on. And one thing with the Ukraine-Russia war is similar, but in this case, you have a situation where Donald Trump, Biden keeps sending arms to support Ukraine against a nuclear state, against a country as powerful as Russia. So everybody fears that this Joe Biden is sleepwalking the country into a nuclear conflict. This is not something any rational American citizen would want. So this is another thing. Then critically, their economy in the United States. While they've been trying to ensure some numbers go up, but the overall GDP is low, inflation is high because he's not been able to strike deals that will bring the oil prices down, even in America. So the inflationary forces are so high in America that everybody is like under tension. This guy is obviously not, in control of what he does. And then you also have the whole Harris thing. Harris is generally has never really been a politician like that. He was the Attorney General of the state of New York or thereabouts, and so he's more of a prosecutor, not an administrator. Not He has not been a great leader like that. So the credential is not really there for Harris. And Biden, that is like the president that was supposed to actually contest against Donald Trump, had shown how weak he was. So there are just so many factors that have made it easy for Donald Trump to win this election. And then maybe to cap it up, in my own opinion, the support of some key people like Elon Musk has also been quite substantial, in the sense that he is quite influential. He has a very loud voice. Everybody respects Elon Musk for his technological prowess, for his ability to take economies or to take institutions, make them smaller and more efficient. That's how he has been able to push through with the whole Starlink project, with the whole Tesla, SpaceX, all these things he has done as a person. So a lot of people have that respect for Elon Musk. And even the young people, a lot of young people see him as a crypto currency favorable president. So there is a lot of love that Elon Musk was also able to, bring to the table in supporting, in endorsing, because he did not just endorse and walk away. He was actively campaigning and pushing for Donald Trump. So I think some of these factors were among the things that made it easy for Donald Trump to win, and created a large pool of people that will hear a sigh of relief, both locally in America and internationally, because they will believe now that there is a chance that price of things could get better in America. Focus could be placed on rebuilding America itself, and not just fighting wars and stretching the nation outside the borders of America.
Wow, that's a whole lot coming from your end as a public affairs analyst, and All right, sorry for the break in transmission again. I'm having a serious technical issue out here. Engineer, welcome back. Sorry for the break in transmission. So I was just trying to push now that I'm not scared, and I pray to Allah to grant us the best. But then, on what ground, on what analysis can we hold on to that Donald Trump will not do what Joe Biden has done with regards to the genocide and all that's happening in Palestine, Lebanon, and the likes of that? What do you have to say about that?
Okay, I think a lot of people are looking at Donald Trump critically as a deal maker. So he's believed to be a person that can actually push what he wants. He's not as lame duck as Biden is saying. And a lot of Muslims in America have said that we know what Donald Trump is, we know what Joe Biden is doing 100%. So even if it's a 1% chance that Donald Trump will potentially strike a deal or reach some conclusion, because it's obvious now that Benjamin Netanyahu does not want to come to any form of this. He just believes I can crush these people. So even after like killing the leaders of Hamas, Ismail Haniya, and then Yahya Sinwar, that's the political and the military leaders of Hamas, even after killing those two guys, he's still fighting. He's still not going to sit down and talk with with the Palestinians, with the Gazans, because he said they should release also the last set of hostages that they might have in the tunnel somewhere under the ground. So he is just like a total person. I have these guys cornered. I would finish them. So that's not working. That's just dragging the war, causing a lot of tension and a lot of chaos around the Middle East there. So a lot of Muslims in America believes, you can see like some of the Muslims there. Donald Trump was able to get a lot of Muslim support because they believe that even if it's 10%, they have seen that this guy Biden and Harris cannot deliver any form of negotiation or deal from Netanyahu. So the hope is that, let's be hopeful on one hand. And then secondly, one of the things that the Muslims in America and probably even some of us that are far away are saying is that there is the potential that everybody now knows that if you really mess up and you go committing genocide outside the country, you can't be punished politically at home. That message has been passed in a very clear and loud manner. So the idea is that whether Donald Trump changes or not, now he also knows that his party, even if he is not contesting in the next election, because this will be his second term, even if he is not contesting in the next election, he knows now that if you mess up so much outside your country, you don't resolve this thing and you allow Israel to carry out some of this genocide that Israel does, there can be political consequences. So that statement is one of the main things that has been established by this election, that there can be a serious political consequence for you if you allow genocide to just continue, and people and children, especially children, weak people, hospitals, schools, UN facilities are being bombed with impunity, as Israel has done over the last year or so. It is obvious that it has costed Joe Biden and the Democratic Party, Democrats in US, it has costed them the position, and that is the big message. So even if Donald Trump is not much better, they have the feeling, there is the feeling that they have seen he can't be worse than, there is nothing more that America can. There is nothing worse that Donald Trump can do now. This is like the lowest. He has killed everybody. He has supplied the bombs to bomb out everything bombable. So other than American forces themselves going into Palestine and Lebanon and Iran and all these places, there is really no support that Israel has not been given. And there is a hope that whatever it is, Donald Trump will be better than the worst that has been seen so far.
All right, thank you so much. That's a whole lot on Donald Trump and Joe Biden and the U.S. Election from us, and it's like I said, I'm not. I was saying earlier, I'm not a political person. I rarely even read about politics and the likes. But then these are worldly affairs. Palestinians are being affected by the politics between U.S. and Israel. Now to the sad part of things, which is the loss of the Lieutenant General, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja. Uh, it's a sad news because they are celebrating the comeback of Donald Trump in the US, and then we are mourning, or the people are mourning the loss of a senior personnel in the Nigerian army. I don't know much about him, and I'm sure we have you here as a public affairs analyst to tell us more about him. You're enlightening me, you're teaching me, and also teaching the general public. What are your takes and what are your thoughts about him, and what would you like to share about him?
Well, I think Lieutenant General Lagbaja, as the Chief of Army Staff, has been a relatively quiet performer over the last 1 year. He was appointed sometime June last year, like almost a month after the president, took over last year. So he's been there for like a year and a half, thereabout, and he has find the. I don't really think he's been able to push the momentum generally, but I think he has not done badly at all. He has shown his mettle. He's been on the battlefield in his career, so not new to war and everything. So I think it's really that he has done his own part in serving the country and protecting Nigeria. So it's really a sad period for the Nigeria security and the Nigeria society at large. And you know that for a while he had been ill, that even like last month or so, sometime in October and thereabout, there was that heavy rumor that he had died. And the government was like, no, 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 he has not died. That is fake news, the rest. He was reported to have some cancer, some stage 3 cancer. I mean, it's not verified. It's not like they will publicly state the ailment he was battling with. But obviously, it was serious. He was initially flown out of the country for treatment and the rest. So, as at a week or two ago, the president actually, in a very unconventional manner, had to, appoint an acting chief of army staff. That's something that is not in the convention. You either have a chief of army staff or you don't. It's not usual that you have someone in acting capacity. But because he was not like gone, and the nation needed a chief of army staff to continue the fight against the insurgency and the various security challenges that we are having in the country. So the president had to take that unusual step of appointing somebody while he was still there, until unfortunately we had this morning a confirmation from the presidency itself that we had lost him, and so that means they probably had the information that he was not likely to come back. That was probably why the president had gone through the process of actually nominating and instituting an acting chief of army staff who would now go into full service now with the confirmation that General Lagbaja would not be coming back. So it's really a thing of it's well, he has lived a very fulfilled life for somebody to, at the age of 56 thereabout, a member of the 39th regular course out of the NDA. It was really a person that had a fulfilled life. He has been on many theaters of operation. He has been commandant at the Jaji Army College. He has been around the world and he has been there. And generally, if you get to the position of a lieutenant general, you have definitely fulfilled and done your part in serving the nation. So I think he died a fulfilled person, and we pray to God to have mercy on him.
All right, so
Yeah,
that's a bit about it for yes, that's a bit about it for Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja. Being a person of such level of starting from the NDA to being the Chief of Army Staff, which is almost the highest, or which is the highest point one can get to as a military personnel. Um, All right. So I was saying that I ask Allah in His infinite mercy to help the nation, to improve the security of the nation. There are so many things happening, even in Nigeria as a nation: the banditry, the terrorism, the kidnapping, even thefts ongoing. So many places. Subhanahu wa ta'ala to help the security of the nation, to help the personnel who are in the highest of leadership to our nation. This will be all we'll be having today in this live session of the Everyday Muslim Show. Our take home for this from my end, after hearing all Engineer Jibril Ibrahim has shared with us, is for us all as a people to strive our best to make the best we can while we are alive. Donald Trump is celebrating his comeback into the presidency or into the White House, and then the Nigeria is mourning the loss of a personnel, and then who knows the rate that are happening in different corners of the world. So many happenings all at the same time. It is left for me and you to strive our possible best to live our daily lives in a way that we would think, if I act and live a life as if it's going to be the last. So that's all for me in this episode of the Everyday Muslim Show, the live session. And thank you, Engineer Jibril, for spending your time with us. I also want to use the opportunity to apologize for the network glitches. We hope and we will try our best to improve our network. Elon Musk has helped, Donald Trump with the whole campaign, so we'll try to maybe patronize him in getting our Starlink. Getting a Starlink, we're not leaving our Africans, but we might just go to Starlink, something like that. So that's on a lighter note. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for watching. We hope to have you all next time, and we hope to give you more of this next time as the happenings are happening around the world. We share them with you and give our perspectives to it. Jazakallah khairan. Thank you, Engineer Jibril. I hope to have you next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you.